What if I told you that the story of humanity isn't what you think? That our biggest leaps forward, from taming fire to building empires, weren't just about survival, but about shared myths and stories we created in our minds. For 2.5 million years, humans were just another animal on the food chain. Yet somehow, within a blink of evolutionary time, we became the rulers of the planet. How did this happen? Why us, and not chimpanzees, lions, or dolphins? In today's video, we're breaking down Yuval Noah Harari's best-selling book, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. And by the end, you'll see your daily life, your work, money, even your identity in a completely different light. And stick around until the end, because I'll share the single biggest lesson from Sapiens that can literally change the way you see the future of humanity and your role in it. Let's start at the very beginning, about 70,000 years ago. Homo sapiens were not the only humans alive. There were Neanderthals in Europe, Homo erectus in Asia, and even mysterious species like Denisovans. But somehow we won. Why? Harari calls this the cognitive revolution, the point where sapiens developed a unique ability to imagine things that don't physically exist. Think about it. A chimp can warn others about a lion nearby, but only humans can say, "The lion's spirit is watching us. Let's honor it so we stay safe." This ability to create shared myths, gods, nations, money, laws, allowed millions of strangers to cooperate. For example, the US dollar is just paper, but we all believe in its value, so it works. Same with companies like Apple or Tesla. Legally, they're fictions, yet they move billions of dollars and employ millions of people. This is why sapiens became the dominant species. We weren't the strongest, but we were the best storytellers. And here's where it gets even crazier. This same skill that helped us hunt mammoths is the exact reason social media, stock markets, and religions exist today. But how did we go from small tribes to entire empires? That's where the next revolution begins. For nearly 90% of human history, we lived as hunter-gatherers. Life was tough, but it was also surprisingly balanced. Varied diets, mobility, and relatively equal social roles. Then, about 12,000 years ago, we stumbled into what Harari calls the biggest fraud in history, the agricultural revolution. Why a fraud? Because while farming produced more food, it didn't necessarily improve life. Early farmers worked longer hours, ate less diverse diets, and suffered from new diseases. Imagine, a wheat field may have fed 1,000 people, but it locked them into hard labor, dependence, and hierarchy. Wheat domesticated us, not the other way around. This shift also created permanent settlements. Villages became towns, towns became cities, and soon kingdoms and empires were born. But here's the catch. Larger societies needed more than just food. They needed stories to bind them together. That's when shared fictions like religion, money, and laws became supercharged. Let me ask you, if you had the choice, would you rather live as a free hunter-gatherer or as a farmer in the first villages? Comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. But food and villages were just the beginning. How did humanity leap from farming wheat to ruling the entire globe? The answer lies in the power of empires and trade. As villages grew into civilizations, humans faced a new challenge. How do you keep millions of strangers cooperating? The answer was shared belief systems. 3 unifiers shaped the ancient and modern world. Money, the most universal system of trust. Empires, political orders that united vast populations. And religions, moral codes that gave meaning beyond survival. Example, the Roman Empire ruled diverse lands not by force alone, but by spreading a shared identity of Roman law, coinage, and culture. Similarly, Islam and Christianity connected millions who never met through common stories and values. Money deserves special mention. Gold coins, paper bills, and now digital currency, all work because we believe they do. As Harari puts it, money is the most successful story ever told. But here's the twist. Unification often came at a cost. Empires spread by war, religion by conversion, money by inequality. But over time, they created a single global civilization, the one we live in today. But if unification gave us shared identity, what truly accelerated our power wasn't belief alone, it was knowledge. And that brings us to the scientific revolution. About 500 years ago, something remarkable happened. For the first time, humans admitted we don't know everything. This humility, recognizing ignorance, sparked the scientific revolution. Instead of relying only on tradition or scripture, humans began observing, experimenting, and questioning. Example: before, people believed the Earth was the center of the universe. But through observation, Copernicus and Galileo proved otherwise. This shift created incredible breakthroughs: medicine, electricity, industry, computers, and space exploration. But here's the key insight from Harari. Science didn't advance alone. It required the marriage of science, empire, and capitalism. Empires funded voyages to discover new lands. Capitalists invested in risky experiments. Science provided the innovations that fueled expansion. This cycle of discovery, conquest, and profit still drives our world today. But this scientific power brings us to the most important question Harari raises, one that shapes the future of every single human alive. So where does this leave us? Harari argues that we are now entering a new revolution, one where humans may transform not just society, but our very biology. Through genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, and biotechnology, we're no longer just adapting to nature, we're rewriting it. Think about it. For the first time in history, humans may not just be the storytellers, we could become the gods of creation, designing new species, editing our DNA, even merging with machines. This raises huge questions. What does it mean to be human if AI thinks faster than we do? If we can engineer intelligence or happiness, who gets access and who doesn't? And most importantly, will our myths and stories keep up with our power? What do you think? Will humanity use this power wisely, or will it lead to our downfall? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And now, let's tie everything together, the single biggest lesson from Sapiens that can guide your own life today. So, what can we take away from this sweeping journey of 70,000 years? Here are 4 key lessons from Sapiens. Stories shape reality. Nations, money, companies, religions, they exist because we believe in them. If you want to change your life, start by changing the story you believe about yourself. Progress isn't always happiness. Farming fed more people, but didn't make them healthier. Technology gives us power, but not necessarily peace. Question whether more always means better. Collaboration is our superpower. Unlike any other species, we thrive because we cooperate in large numbers. Strengthen your communities, family, friends, teams, because that's where true resilience lies. The future is in our hands. From AI to biotech, the choices we make today will define humanity for centuries. Stay curious, stay aware, and play your role wisely. Which of these lessons hit you the hardest? Let me know in the comments. I read every one.
If you found this breakdown of Sapiens eye-opening, wait until you hear what's coming next. In our next video, we'll dive into Homo Deus, Harari's sequel, where he predicts the future of humankind. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So hit that like button if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more book breakdowns, and share this with a friend who loves history and big ideas. Until next time, remember, the stories we tell don't just explain our past, they decide our future.